everybody, it's Ryan Barton-Grimley again, but of course you know that because you're on my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you're not, please hit that button. All right, Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers. It's a movie and it's gonna come out this year. Can't talk specifically about when or where, but it will be soon. So I really wanted to just give a proper director statement. Anyway, hello, I'm the writer and director of Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers. I also play Hawk, one of the lead characters. Believe it or not, my family and I moved here in the mid-'80s from Zimbabwe. It's in southern Africa, and we got here just at that perfect time for me to kind of come online when it came to media, movies, and TV. And I've been trying to fight it my entire career. But when it comes to Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers, I think it's very clear that I gave in to the 80s. That is correct. I gave in to the 80s. So after almost 10 years of no media consumption growing up in Zimbabwe, I moved here in the mid-1980s, right at the height of its cultural influence, and suddenly had access to a VHS player and TV and movie theaters. I mean, it totally blew my mind how much media there was to consume. I mean, I was really like a data-starved AI. And for those of you that do know me, people who have worked with me, they can attest to the fact that I love information. And when I got here from Zimbabwe, I mean, I went to town. I mean, we're talking Lost Boys, Die Hard, Big Trouble in Little China, Lethal Weapon, Commando, Predator, Cobra, Extreme Prejudice, The Karate Kid, everything Chuck Norris, The Fall Guy, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, Airwolf, guys, come on. What about Chips? How about the A-Team? Mr. T, what about wrestling? This is when I came online. I went from almost nothing to all that. Imagine. So why the heck did I make Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers, which is a very silly, campy movie about vampires? Honestly, because the world is just so damn serious. And it's not that fun anymore. And it was really depressing me. And I was trying to write things that I thought were of substance. And I couldn't. I was blocked because I was not paying my respects to my actual influences. I was trying to deny them and be too artsy. And also, the world was just really super depressing the last few years. Fascism is on the rise. The environment is a mess. Everybody's fighting with each other. These are all the reasons why I escaped into the idea for Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers. These are all the reasons why I wanted to amuse myself and why I wanted to have good-hearted fun and connect with characters, have characters learn lessons, but it not be life or death. I was just really looking for an escape. I was really looking for a laugh and just some kind of heartfelt connection, humor, you know, a little bit of social commentary to be sure, but from a light-hearted place. The world is just so serious and everything is turned on 24 hours a day. I wanted to retreat into the late 80s and just kind of live there. I just wanted to bathe in the 80s. You know, this kind of brain-dead time, or so I thought. But interestingly, the deeper I got into it, it's not that brain dead. It's just a reaction to the 70s, which are a reaction to the 60s. So really the 80s are thought of as this time of excess and ridiculous opulent wealth and silly fashion and really campy movies. While that is true, and there's definitely misogyny and racism and homophobia in all of the movies, they do reflect our country at the time. And while all of those things are true, there was also this really childlike quality to a lot of the media at that time, which I personally connected to because I was a child. A sense of wonder. Like if you watch E.T. or Goonies, there is a sense of wonder there, where kids could kind of experience a thing, fight for a thing, and win. There was optimism, and I just really missed that, and I kind of wanted to put that into a project. I was looking for levity, guys. Humor and levity. Hawk and Rev Vampire Slayers is quite simply a love letter to my childhood here in the United States, in Southern California, when I came online. You know what I mean? I think anybody who lived through that time period or knows about that time period or is influenced by the movies from that time period will watch Hawk and Red Vampire Slayers and totally get where I'm coming from. It's just a love letter to goofy weirdos and unbridled optimism. It's a love letter to ridiculous ideas that may or may not work out, but it'll be okay either way. It's just plain old-fashioned escapism, and I needed it. I really did as an artist. And I gotta tell you, once the movie was done and it was out there, it was going out to festivals, I started to get the same feedback from people that they watched the movie and really got it on that same level. Whether they realized it or not, suddenly they'd put the movie on and go, oh my God, I needed this escape as well. So I think that's what the movie is there to do. It's a good old-fashioned romp. You'll find some humanity in there. You'll laugh at these people. We're not taking it seriously there. None of this stuff is gonna save the world, and that's totally fine. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna feel good at the end. I mean, hopefully you'll cry even a little bit. To be fair, a lot of the jokes are really silly. You might have to kind of dumb down yourself a little bit and go, okay, I've got to kind of readjust my brain because I've been watching so much serious stuff out there, but I can just be here and enjoy this thing and these silly characters going through life because it's a very silly world we build. And I can enjoy that, and I can walk away with a good, positive, life-affirming feeling. And that is what I wanted to do with Hawk and Red Vampire Slayers. I wanted it to have horror. I wanted it to have gore. I wanted to have a love story. I wanted to have friendships that are awesome but also go bad. I wanted to have martial arts. I wanted to have bikes and helmets and headbands and camo. I wanted suiting up montages. I wanted montages with tons and tons of 80s taglines. And we got it all in there. And I'm so proud of it. I just can't wait for people to see it. It's such a weird time to release a movie too, because Hawk and Red Vampire Slayers had its film festival premiere and its film festival run, which was awesome, through COVID. So it was completely digitally, which is just absurd. It's just so weird to not be in person and connect with fans. But it was really cool to hear all the feedback online. People sending messages and emails and different programmers and fans and critics and all this stuff. We still all brought it together and we were still able to connect. And it's just really makes me feel good, and I'm so happy we're able to do that. I really just hope you enjoy the movie and leave with a nice heartfelt feeling that everything would be okay despite it being kind of crazy. I hope some of this mumble jumble makes sense. This is some kind of director statement, I guess. In a couple months when this movie comes out, refer back to this silly director statement and go, yeah, I totally get where RBG was coming from on that. Once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button, share this with somebody if you want. I wish you good health, and I will see you in the future.